The rain that night was relentless, cold, heavy, and unkind. It poured down like the sky itself wanted to erase the world below. Out of that storm staggered a woman, drenched barefoot, clutching her swollen belly as if it was the only thing keeping her alive. Her name was Marissa. 8 months pregnant, shivering, exhausted. Her lip was split, her clothes torn. Fear burned brighter in her eyes than any lightning in the sky. She didn't know where she was headed, only that she couldn't stop. Not now, not when her baby's life depended on it. Through the curtain of rain, she saw a faint neon glow, Devil's Disciples Bar. Most people would have turned and run the other way, but Marissa was out of choices. Her trembling hands pushed open the door. The chatter died instantly. A dozen rugged men turned to look. Leather vests, tattooed arms, beer-stained boots. The smell of oil and smoke filled the air. She looked like she'd stepped out of another world, one made of pain and desperation. Her gaze locked with that of a broad, bearded man near the counter, the word president stitched on his vest. His name was Reed. Marissa's voice cracked. Please, I need help. If you believe in kindness, in redemption, in second chances, then make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Pure, because what happened next is something you won't forget. Reed had seen his share of darkness. He'd buried family, lost friends, and spent years trying to turn his club from feared outlaws into men of loyalty and brotherhood. But when Marissa stumbled in that night, soaked, shaking, and scared, he wasn't thinking about reputation. He was thinking, what kind of trouble just walked through my door? Marissa fell to her knees, tears mixing with rain. Someone's after me. He said he'd kill me if I left. The men exchanged uneasy glances. A terrified, pregnant woman asking bikers for help. It didn't sound like a story that ended well. But Reed saw something familiar in her eyes, a pain he understood too well. He knelt beside her, saw the bruises on her wrists, and made his decision. She stays, he said firmly. No one touches her. No one questions her. They wrapped her in towels, gave her food, and listened as she told her story about Carl, her husband, who promised love but gave her only fear when she told him she was leaving. He turned violent. So she ran into the storm with nothing but hope. That night, in the back of that bar, she found safety for the first time in months. Reed sat outside her door, silent, beer in hand. Lost in thought, he thought of his own daughter, the one he hadn't seen in 10 years, and how sometimes life gives you just one more chance to do the right thing. Before dawn, headlights pierced through the rain. A truck screeched to a stop outside. Moments later, a man burst in furious, wild-eyed, "Where is she?" He roared, "Where's my wife?" Reed stood up. "You need to leave. She's mine," Carl shouted, lunging forward. But Reed's men blocked his path. The air crackled with tension. Reed's voice was low, cold, final. "Not anymore. You lost that right when you laid your hands on her." Within minutes, sirens wailed outside. The police, quietly called moments earlier, dragged Carl away. From behind the office door, Marissa heard it all. When she stepped out, trembling, she found Reed sitting alone, rain dripping from his jacket. Tears filled her eyes. "You saved my life," she whispered. Reed looked up, double quotes. "No, sweetheart, you saved ours." Days later, when she finally left, the men fixed her car, gave her money, and promised she'd never be alone again. Reed handed her a folded note, an address just in case she ever needed help. Months passed. Then one quiet evening, a letter arrived at the bar. Inside was a photo of a newborn baby wrapped in a blue blanket. On the back, in gentle handwriting, were 6 words. "His name is Hope. Thank you." The room fell silent. Some smiled. Others wiped their eyes. Reed held the photo the longest, his rough hands trembling, his heart somehow lighter. Maybe he'd never get a second chance with his own child, but helping Marissa had healed something inside him he thought was gone forever. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Pure Kindness Hub, because here, every story reminds us that real kindness isn't about perfection, it's about courage, compassion, and the simple choice to care.